Hello everyone, it's Dranina here and welcome to this video. I was asked by a couple of my subscribers to explain what I would like to see in the next season of Dota Underlords with regards to the heroes and the alliances, since season 1.5 is quite a little bit on the way already. So that got me thinking, what do I want to see? How do I want to see the game progress and grow and be even more amazing than it is right now? And this mainly got me thinking about what is it that I don't really like about this game right now, or what I want to see changed. And one of the things that is somewhat bugging me right now is the importance of hyper-rolling and getting 3 stars with almost all your units. And it doesn't really matter what kind of units they are and if they form an alliance together. Maybe you put in a unit that is only 2 stars near late game, and you still win because you've got all these other creatures and all these other heroes that you got with 3 stars using hyper-rolling. And it's kind of bugging me that there is a shift in importance from getting amazing alliance combinations towards just getting those 3-star characters, no matter which characters they are. As long as they're 3 stars, you win. Which got me thinking, how can you counter that without taking away all the effort that the developers put in the game right now, with the special powers that you get once you hit 3 stars and something like that. I don't want to negate the work that has been done already to this game. So I got to thinking that maybe an idea would be to create alliances that require more heroes and give very fast bonuses once they are complete. So you reward people who actually get to level 9 or level 10 and have 9 or 10 units on the board, compared to people who only get to level 6 or 7 while they were hyper-rolling, which I think is a great way to counter this. Like, reward people who get to level 9 and 10 and who are actually putting effort in getting alliances complete, compared to the hyper-rolling strategy that is going on right now in season 1.5. So once completed, once such a big alliance is completed, it should counter the 3-star hyper-rolling that is really going on right now. And one of the alliances that I would love to see and grow and take shape even more is the Dragon Alliance. And I was thinking, right now it's, if I'm not mistaken, you need 2 characters for the Dragon Alliance to be complete, which is not a whole lot. There are currently 4 in the game, which is Viper, Dragonite, Puck and Snapfire, which is also not a whole lot. Well, if looking at the Dota characters, or the 2 characters, there are a lot of dragons in there. Like, there are a lot of dragons in there. So my suggestion is, put 7 dragons in the game, and you need 6 of them in order to complete the whole Dragon Alliance, with like 2 stacks of 3 heroes. And for example, the characters you can put in there, or I've thought about putting in there, were Jericho, Winter Wyvern, Viper, Dragonite, Puck, Snapfire and Visage. And once they complete, all the heroes will get their bonus attack damage, which is unusual for dragons right now, because dragons unlock the special power. But 2 stacks would unlock the special power, so you would really be motivated in order to get to 2 stacks instead of just 1 stack, because you already get the special power, which will greatly improve the dragon heroes. Another alliance I was thinking about is flying. Like, I haven't seen flying, and there are quite a couple of heroes that can fly, which is an absolute shame. So I got thinking, and I thought, like, I could do something like 4 or 5 heroes with 2 stacks of 2. Make it very small, but I thought there are so many flying heroes in Dota 2, why not take advantage of that? So that got me thinking, like, maybe 6 needed in total, like 7 flying heroes in the game, and that you need 3 stacks of 2 heroes, with each stack of course greatly improving the benefits. And the characters that I thought, or the heroes I thought that would really fit in there, were like Phoenix, Skywrath Mage, Winter Wyvern, Dark Willow, Night Stalker, Queen of Pain and Viper. So I got these 2 ideas when it comes down to the Flying Alliance. One of them is kinda how Brawny works right now. For each kill they get, you get a bonus attribute. And for flying, I think Evasion would really work really well. And I know Evasion is currently linked to the Rogue Alliance, but that alliance seems really out of place, as in the units you can get are quite early game. Like, I think the highest rogue is Sven, but there are like 5 or 6 rogues and you need only 4 of them, so you can negate Sven, and then next you have Alchemist, but you're also not really using that one probably, so... And the other ones are really early game. So it feels like a really weird alliance as it is right now. So I thought, Evasion is on loose screws right now, let's use it for another alliance that can really benefit from it. And I thought, well, flying things are harder to hit generally than things that stand on the ground. So why not make it so that for each enemy a Flying Alliance hero kills, they get bonus evasion, and how much evasion they get per kill depends on the Day of the Alliance. Another idea for flying might be that, because of the same reason that they're difficult to hit, the enemy hero decides to attack all the enemies first, and if there are no enemies left to attack within their range that aren't flying, then they start to attack the flying heroes. And I don't know which one is like the better one or the most preferred one, so let me know in the comment section down below what you think is the best way to approach a flying alliance, if any. And then I thought there are so many old or so many heroes that are rich of history and rich of knowledge, like the Darkseer, the Oracle, the Elder Titan, Underlord and Mars. Like, these are those fast heroes with a lot of knowledge of the world, of the future, of the past. So why not make a Knowledge Alliance? Which seems like a very weird name. If you have a better name, let me know. And this should be, in my head, like a very late game alliance, like Void right now is. And my idea behind it was, well, since they have a lot of knowledge and like the Oracle and the Seer can look into the future, might want to do something with like prediction or something like that. I thought when an enemy hits like 90% mana, they will freeze them in time and their mana will be reduced to 50%, so they can't cast their spell. In such a way that it looks like Darkseer, Oracle, Elder Titan and Underlord of Mars predicted they were going to cast the spell, so they froze them in time, dropped down the mana, and that's it. And they should have like a proper cooldown, like every 2 seconds only. Like if you have late game alliance, a lot of people on the board, why not, like, that means every so often a spell's cast, so if you have proper enough cooldown, they shouldn't be too impactful, but it should have impact. Like, if people can't cast anymore, that's massive. And then I thought the Druid Alliance in Season 1 and the Shaman Alliance in Season 1.5 are both meh. They are not really wowing me. Like, Druid was really big in Season 1. You had the Savage Summoner Druid Alliance combination, and it was awfully strong. Like, really, really strong. Everyone was playing it besides maybe Troll and Knights. And that's it. Like, Druids allowed, but like, you had these 2 tiers, and per tier, like, one more hero became a star higher than they actually are, or a tier higher than they actually were. Which is fine. Worked really well early game. If you had like a couple of druids early game, you were like obliterating every other team. Shamans right now are weird. They are like, they summon units, which is really great, especially in the early game, because then you get a wolf if you have Magnet and Enchantress or so, which is crazy strong early game. But even though you get to late game with shamans, like if you have 6 shamans on the board and you've got a black dragon, it doesn't feel as impactful as it should feel, in my opinion. Like, a dragon should be this fast creature that joins the game, and it should really have an impact, while I often feel like it does so-so. It does okay, but it doesn't feel like it is the majestic beast that it is supposed to be. So I thought, if we rearranged like the whole Druid Alliance or Shaman Alliance and make a Nature Alliance, so everyone is really close to nature. And I thought about Wind Ranger, because she looks like a wood elf, let's be honest, Dark Willow, Enchantress, Strength Protector, Tiny, Nature's Prophet and Earth Spirit. And I thought, when someone from the Nature Alliance dies, like, Nature's going to weep, of course. So a random hero from the Alliance will buff all the heroes from either different alliances for the first stack, all heroes from the second stack, and buff and heal partially all heroes around them. So, and it should be random, like a random one from their alliance, if any left, is chosen. Like, everyone who is in one tile, like every ally who is in one tile of it, will be buffed. Only for that round. Like, it shouldn't be a permanent buff that carries throughout the game. And, like, it's the way nature will take revenge, or wants to take revenge on the ones, to the enemies who kill their beloved creatures. And I thought, well, these 7 creatures, they feel like really nature-bound creatures. Like Tiny is like walking rocks, for Strength Protector, Nature's Prophet. They look like a tree, and one of them is a summoner of little trends. I mean, it feels like a lot better than just summon a random unit like it is right now. So that brings me towards the heroes. Like, which heroes... I called a lot of different heroes when I was calling out the heroes for the alliances. And of course, some of them aren't currently in the game, which means I want to add them to the game. The first one is Phoenix, which I thought, let's be a flying fallen. Like, Phoenix rises from the ashes, like, is resurrected. That's the whole idea behind Phoenix. So, should be fallen, I think, besides the flying I put her in already. And I had a look at every character's list of abilities, as they are currently in Dota 2. And I just picked one of them and sometimes tweaked them a little bit to fit the Dota Underlords game a little bit better. But essentially they should be the same power and ability as they have in Dota 2. And for Phoenix, I thought about Icarus Dive, which means Phoenix dives forward in an arc to the furthest enemy, with a fixed distance in the target direction, dealing damage over time and slowing the movement speed of any units it comes into contact with, and then orbiting back to its natural position. Well, of course I know movement speed isn't really a case right now, as it is, like, the movement speed doesn't really work the same in Dota Underlords as it does in Dota 2, so I thought maybe we could make something like attack speed from it instead of movement speed. And I think Phoenix should be an early game character. Like, an early game Fallen seems like a really good idea, and one of the first characters you can get for the Flying Alliance. And I think she would be a great addition to the game as it is right now. Another one that I came across and that I really liked and really loved reading about was Jericho. Jekiro, who I thought must be a savage dragon. Like, dragon, of course, like, I put him in a Dragon Alliance, or put they in a Dragon Alliance since they have 2 heads. And I think they are pretty savage. If I had a look at their story and a look at their wallpapers and pictures that I could find of them, they look pretty savage. And I thought Ice Path seems like a great addition to the game as it is right now, which is creates a path of ice to the other side of the board that can only be crossed by flying creatures as long as the path is there. It is a little bit different, the power in Dota 2, but I thought I have to make it something that fits the game as it is right now. Like, it should fit Dota Underlords, and I don't think that the power it had in Dota 2 works really well in Dota Underlords. So I thought, since it isn't a flying creature, I thought maybe we could, like, create a physical barrier that maybe only a flying can reach, because it's a barrier from the ground up, and flying creatures shouldn't be able... Like, if they pass, it should be fine, like, whether it's enemy or ally, I mean, it shouldn't really matter. And I thought Jekiro should be a mid-game character. Like, he seems like a good mid-game character. You don't want barricades to erupt during the early game, and they should be there probably late game. Next one is Winter Wyvern, who I envision being a dragon, of course, and flying. They should be a mid to late game character, in my opinion. And I was looking at Splinter Blast, launches a ball of brittle ice towards an enemy. Ice shatters on impact, leaving the primary target completely unaffected while hurling damaged splinters into nearby enemies. It originally is a 500 meter radius, after like 2 or 3 tiles or so, and enemies stuck by the splinters are slowed by 30%. Seems like a pretty good idea to me. And next up, I thought about Skyrod Mage, who is of course flying and a mage. I think that is very much self-explanatory, and I think he should be a late game character because of the power that I chose for him, which is Mystical Flare, which means he uses his ultimate magical ability to conjure a precise and violent mystical field that lays waste to his adversaries, deals massive damage, distributed evenly among any heroes in the area over a certain amount of seconds. I think that works really well. When I read this, I thought about Lux's ultimate in League of Legends, if I can mention the other game very carefully. The game we don't really talk about apparently in the Dota community. So I think it's a really great power, and I would love to see something like that happen in Dota Underlords. But by that standard, I think he should be a late game character. Another one, Visage, which I thought was a dragon mage. Like, a dragon, of course, because I put him in a Dragon Alliance, and the other lines I thought, well, he could be a mage, right? And also, I think he's a very good hero to be a late game mage as well. So we've got, in my world of Dota Underlords, we've got 2 late game mages right now, Skyrod Mage and Visage. And his power, as I chose, is Grave Chill, which is a passive, drains attack speed from the enemies surrounding him, gaining it for himself. So if he stands in the middle of a big horde of enemies, he will drain their attack speed for himself. Next up, Dark Seer, who I made Knowledge and Void, and he should be like the ultimate late game character, like the character you want to pick up at last is like very late game. Kind of like Faceless Void is right now, but even more urgency behind it, if you guys understand what I mean. And his power should be, in my opinion, Vacuum. Darkseer creates a vacuum over the target area that sucks in enemies, stunning them briefly and dealing damage. So basically this ball that he throws somewhere across the board, and all the enemies surrounding the ball will like bump into one another, like from 2 tiles, be compressed to like, if possible, to like the 8 tiles surrounding where he throws the ball, and they should be like stunned, and they should deal damage. I think it would look really cool if you have the animations right. Next up, another knowledge-based hero, which is Oracle, and I thought she could be a mage. And she should be like the first knowledge hero, in my opinion, that you should come across. And her power should be Fate's Edict? Fate's Edict? Once mana hits 100% if an enemy is attacked by more than one enemy. If an ally is attacked by more than one enemy, the hero will be magic resistant for like a couple of seconds, and the attackers will be disarmed for like a couple of seconds, or like one of the attackers will be disarmed for a couple of seconds. I think she would be a great character to see in Dota Underlords. I loved reading about it. I think like the mystical side of Oracle looks really great in the setting of Dota Underlords right now. And I would love to see her in there. Like I would love to see new heroes. Next up, Dark Willow, the first nature character. I think it's the only nature character that I added. Yes, I did. But she looks like a lovely flying fairy, let's be honest. And I think she is like this early to mid-game character that bounces around the board. And her power, in my opinion, should be Cursed Crown, which is Dark Willow casts an ancient fake curse on the target. After the delay, the target and nearby enemies are stunned. So, as you probably noticed, like a theme that runs towards the powers that I assigned towards to the heroes that I want to add to the game, is that I want to do a lot more with like AoE types of attacks and special powers, with a little bit more of status effects like stunned and disarmed, because there are just a handful of special abilities that are actually using them, though they are in the game already, so that it's kind of weird that they're not really made use of while they're already there. Alright, next up, Night Stalker, a flying assassin. I think that would be a lovely idea. Also, I know that I put Queen of Pain in flying as well, so that would mean maybe 2 flying assassins, or maybe Queen of Pain should be like just a poison, if poison stay for like the next season. So Night Stalker's power, Crippling Fear, which I made a passive in my head, which is Night Stalker that horrifies all nearby enemies, causing them to become silent while near him. This applies to all enemies who are 1 tile away from Night Stalker for a couple of seconds. Don't want it too big, but you want it to be there. Like, I feel like making this a power that feels a bit weird, and especially thinking about the fact that he's an assassin, he's probably going to jump from one place to the other place on the board, not really staying in one place for too long. So just silencing the characters who are near him while he's attacking like one of the characters that he's next to, I think is a really good addition, and they shouldn't be silenced, of course, after those seconds are over. Like, the Night Stalker should be away for at least so many seconds again before he can silence them. And he should be, in my opinion, like a mid-game character, like 3 gold or so. Should be like a nice place for him to be. Next up, Elder Titan, who is a knowledge-based character, and I thought something like a Brutal Brani. Like, if you look him up, he's like this very massive, raging hero. So I thought maybe something like a Brutal Brani would do really nicely. His power, Astral Spirit, which means he sends forth his Astral Spirit, damaging all units it passes through. Upon returning to the Titan, it grants bonus attack speed to all allied unit it passes through. So basically, going forward, he will damage all the enemies, and going backwards, he will buff all the allies. And I thought, based on this power, considering he's a Brutal Brani, who I want to see growing as well, and having a couple more late-game characters for those alliances would probably help it a little bit. So make Elder Titan a mid to late-game character. So, second to last one, Underlord, who is knowledge and I think heartless? Doesn't seem like a too bad idea. Like Underlord, I probably think about like a hellish teams or something like that, so Heartless seems a great fit for him. His power is of Atrophy Aura. Nearby enemies' units are weakened, losing a portion of their attack damage. If an enemy dies while under this effect, Underlord gains permanent bonus damage. So kinda like how if Legion Commander duels, she gets bonuses. I think if Underlord just has this aura around him where if people die in it, he will get that power, seems like a really nice idea. Making him a mid to late game character allows the Heartless Alliance to advance a little bit more towards the late game as well. And last but not least, Mars, which is a knowledge and I think a savage. Like, we already assigned Brute or Brawny and Brawny to the other Titan, and I thought Mars, what else he is. And I saw his shield and like his spear, and I thought, well, savage seems like not too bad of a match. So his power, God's Rebuke, Mars smashes enemies in front of him with his shield, 3 tiles in front of him. So like 3 tiles he has in front of him. Horizontally, not vertically, of course. Then again, briefly and damaging them for with a critical strike. Not like the most interesting power that I have seen. Not the most interesting power that I've written down here, but I think it's definitely a game changer. Like having the ability to crit 3 heroes that are, or like a maximum of 3 heroes that are in front of you, seemed like a really great idea. And I made him like a mid to late game character. So right, you guys, I hope you enjoy this insight into the future where I hope Dota Underlords is going to go. I am really interested to hear wherever you think Dota Underlords is going to go, or where you hope it is going to go in the future. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and ring that notification bell if you want to get notified every time I post a new video. If you're interested, I'm streaming on Twitch as well. I will leave a link to my channel in the description box down below, as well as a link to my Discord server if you're interested to join. Have a lovely day, and I see you guys next time.